Hi friends, my name is Jo and welcome back to my Bookish Corner. It is already almost August, so we need to pick our TBR for this month. First, I'm gonna do some favorites from July because it went so fast, but there were some really fun things in July. So some of the best things in July, I have been trying so many new fun drink combos and drink experiments. I mean, mostly coffee, but trying different cold foams and different syrup things, trying homemade syrups, stuff like that. So that has been super fun. Also, we've been getting lots of watermelon. So just eating watermelon as a snack while watching shows and stuff has been an absolute blast. I love it. Perfect summer snack. I've really been liking leafless salads too. I've had those for lunches a lot. So chopped up cucumber, tomatoes, chickpeas, some olive oil, stuff like that. It lasts a lot longer than a lettuce or spinach or whatever salad, mixed grain salad, because it doesn't get wilty. So I've been really enjoying those as well. I have been listening to Fall Out Boy, the Folia Do, I don't know how you say it, Folia Do album, and that has been a vibe. That's been really fun. We've done lots of fun activities in July. We went to the lavender field, which was absolutely gorgeous. One of my closest friends got married, and that was beautiful and so much fun. Those are my July favorites. Kind of just a quick overview of what we were loving in July, what we were listening to, all of that. I'd love to hear what you spent your July doing, listening to, loving, drinking, all of it. And then let's do a quick July recap of what we read. First, we'll start with the books that were on my July TBR that I pulled from the TBR jar that I didn't end up reading. So the first book was Long Shot by Mark Ammerman, and this is book 2 or 3 in the series. And I don't have the other books, so I just decided that I will likely donate this or bring it to Half Price Books, something like that, because I just don't have the other books in the series. So I didn't read this at all. Then we had The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I did start reading this. I got probably 30%. Yeah, I'd say 30% of the way through this book. And then I was listening to an audiobook and was surprised by a very graphic and semi-triggering scene for me. So I would say search up content warnings before you read this. It's not that I wouldn't recommend it, but I would definitely say look up content and trigger warnings before you read this book. So I did DNF this, and I'm going to be bringing this and the other books in this series because I do own the whole trilogy, so I will be bringing these either to donate or to Half Price Books. And finally, we have To the End of the World by Colin Foreman. I started this, but I just wasn't vibing with the writing style. Dialogue is really important to me, and the dialogue felt very stilted, so I just wasn't vibing with this and decided to put it down and pick up a different book. So, also DNF'd this one. Now to the books that I did finish in July, and I have videos reading most of these, so I'm not going to go into detail. I'll give you my star ratings and a little bit about what I thought of them, but if you want to see detail on me reading these books and what I think about them, feel free to look at my other videos. Most of these books are in there. First, we have Eric's Ransom and the Kings of Clonmel by John Flanagan. These are books 7 and 8 in the Ranger's Apprentice series. Very fun, very adventurous. Love these. Next, we have The Summer Book by Tove Jansson. This was a gift from Cam, and I read it over 4th of July weekend because red, white, and blue, and it's a very summery vibe. It's literally called The Summer Book. So I gave this book 3.75 out of 5 stars. It was fun. It just didn't have much of a plot, which is usually pretty necessary to keep me engaged. So I think it worked for me because I read it on the 4th of July weekend and I didn't have many distractions. But if I had had distractions, it would have been harder for me to get through. It was a very cute book all in all, though. Then we have The Story of King Arthur and His Knights. This I also gave 3.75 out of 5 stars. It was interesting and kind of funny. It was written in an older style of English, and I did enjoy that. It felt like a little bit of a challenge, but by the end of the book, it started to get very repetitive with the duels between knights, and they were all formatted pretty much the same. So it felt like I was reading a lot of the same scene over and over again. So very interesting, but I much preferred the first half to the second half. Then we have The Red Necklace by Sally Gardner, and that was 3.75 out of 5 stars as well. There was a pattern to my ratings this month, apparently. This one was also fairly interesting. This took place around the French Revolution and was from a perspective that I think is a little unique for that. I haven't read many historical fiction books set in the French Revolution, so I did enjoy that aspect. All in all, I did like this book, but I don't think I will be continuing the series. I don't think I was fascinated enough by the characters and the cliffhanger to move on to the rest of the books in the series. Then I read Wonder, which I rated 5 out of 5 stars. It is a children's book. The writing is written for children, but I do think that it is a fabulous read for any age, and I really love it. And finally, the last book that I read this month is The Magician's Daughter by H.G. Perry. I did enjoy this. It was also a 3.75 out of 5 stars for me. The first half felt very whimsical and descriptive and magical in a written sense. I really loved the writing. The second half, it got a little off track for me, and there was less of that whimsical writing, and that was what I really enjoyed about the first half. So, first half really drew me in, and the second half fell a little flat for me. This was our book club book for the month, and book club is actually this evening, so I haven't talked to the other members of the book club about this yet, but I did get some fun sourdough bread for book club. I'm gonna pick up some fun jam and goat cheese because they eat a lot of toasted jam in this book. So that is gonna be the setup for book club tonight. That's everything that I read in July. Just a quick recap of the books we got through. If you want more details, like I said, I have other videos in which I was reading most of these books. I did also start The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand when we were in Washington Island visiting the lavender fields, but I have not made more progress on that because I was reading The Magician's Daughter before book club. So that is everything that I read in July. And now we're gonna do a quick bullet journal update because I haven't done that in a while and I have definitely read a lot of books off of my shelves. So we're gonna do that quick before we draw our August TBR. It's time to draw our August TBR. I will likely be finishing The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand this month as well, and we will have a book club book. So those are 2 books that are already kind of on my TBR, and we're gonna draw 6 more. First we have The Princess Casamassima by Henry James. I think this is an older book as well. So, oh yay! Yeah, so next we have Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. I love this series. It is one of my favorite fantasy series. I am so excited to reread this. There are 5 books in that series, so if I get through book 1, I will likely just go on and read the rest of the series. Book 3 is The Winner's Curse by Marie Rudkowski. I don't know that one. Book 4. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Honestly, also a 10 out of 10 pick. This is gonna be really fun to reread. And that also is a series, and I have all 4 books, I think it is. So I will likely read the rest in the series once I finish that one as well. This is such a fun month so far. Okay, this is book 5. Long title. Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Dude, I am getting all my series. These will also be really fun to reread. This is the Little House on the Prairie series. This is technically book 1. I think it's like a prequel, but I like reading it first. That's so fun! Okay guys, I might be reading like 30 books this month. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have 1 more. Ooh, thick piece of paper. Fall of Giants by Ken Follett. Okay, I think these might be historical fiction or like war books or something like that. These are thick. And this is also a series. So we will see how that goes. Because these puppies are thick. So we're gonna go, let's see, this is 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, this is 6. So we're gonna go grab these. I am so excited for this month. These are some really fun books to read. I know these are great and I love them, so I'm so excited. Also, before we go pick the books, one thing I forgot to mention, I did update my book goal to 100 for this year since I reached my goal of 52. I think I am at 61 out of 100. So we are on track to finish book goal on time. And if I have time this month, school also starts this month, so we'll see how much time I have. But if I have time this month, these are gonna be really fun. These are gonna be really fun. Okay, let's go pick our books. The Winner's Curse by Marie Rutkowski. I am trying not to read the backs of books. I want to be surprised. This says at the top, winning what you want may cost you everything you love. So I'm thinking like games, trials, that kind of thing maybe? Don't know where this came from. Oh shoot. No! This might be part of a series. Oh no! On the inside of the book, it lists the books by this author, and this is like 5th down, so I'm gonna need to Google and make sure that this isn't part of a series. Okay, we will see. Then we have The Princess Casamassima by Henry James. I don't know anything about this one. I do think this is older. Let me see. This one was from a library sale, I think. First published in 1886. So this is going to be another older English book, kind of like the story of King Arthur and his knights, I believe. So this will be interesting. I don't know what it's about. A princess, I would assume. I'm very curious about this one. Then we have The Fall of Giants by Ken Follett. Apparently I did start this book at one point because we have a napkin bookmark. You use what you can and what's around you. So it looks like I got to chapter 5, page 120 before I stopped. This does look like historical fiction because chapter 5 starts April 1914. So taking that out, this is book 1 of the Century trilogy is what the back here says. Otherwise, I'm not going to read any more about it. I think I started it a long time ago, and so don't remember anything about it. The bottom here says, an epic of love, hatred, war, and revolution. We'll see. We'll see how this one goes. Okay, then we have The Giver by Lois Lowry, which is a dystopian book from what I remember. I have read the whole series before. I do love them. I love my copy of The Giver. Don't ask me why. When I was younger, I was obsessed with taking book jackets off. I got rid of the book jackets for all of these books, and I am realizing that that was a poor decision now, but can we go back and change it? No. But I do love this. It's dystopian. I don't fully remember the plot. I think I remember enough of it. I think it'll just be an enjoyable reread. Then we have Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Sorry for the glare there. This is cute. This is like the prequel to Little House on the Prairie. It's when Laura is really young before they do their journey to the West, and they live in a log cabin in Wisconsin. So this one's super cute. I think it'll be a quick read, but it'll be a fun one. I have the full box set, also have had this since I was a child, and it is quite literally falling apart. But we're gonna keep it. I do want to learn how to re-bind books because like I don't want to get rid of these, but like it is falling apart, like the back is all messy. It would be really nice to be able to rebind it. Finally, we have Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. This is book 1 in the Fablehaven series. I love this fantasy series. It's about a brother and sister whose grandparents own and operate a magical sanctuary for magical creatures because like they're being hunted to extinction and that kind of thing and like can't survive alongside humans. And so there are these sanctuaries for them, and the brother and sister go visit their grandparents for an extended period of time. So this is super fun. I loved this concept. I have loved this series for quite a while. It'll be fun to reread. Interesting as this series ranks high with Ranger's Apprentice for me. Like when people ask what my favorite childhood series are, it's Ranger's Apprentice, Artemis Fowl, and Fablehaven. Like those are my top tier like fantasy children's series. So it'll be fun to reread this. I know with Ranger's Apprentice, rereading it, I found some things that as an adult, I was like, could have been done better. So I'm curious whether there will be some of that with Fablehaven as well, but I think I will still love it. So super excited for this reread. Cannot wait. Honestly, this is a pretty stacked TBR for August, and I am pumped. So thank you for coming along to pick my August TBR with me. I cannot wait to read these with you guys. I cannot wait to talk about these. Some of these are some of like my favorite books ever, and I am so excited to reread them. So let's get to reading, y'all.